Hey everyone, Rushlock here with our next episode of Evaganda coverage for articles from Rick Javix. If you're enjoying the series, make sure to click the like button down below, leave a ridiculous comment to help boost the visibility of the video, and lets us know that you guys would like more of these made. Setting goals from Rick Javix, which is a great topic. I'm looking forward to reading this one because that's something I tell pretty much every new player that comes into the channel on my own stream, and we can never overstate the importance of setting goals to avoid burnout in EVE Online. Rick says, my very first goal in EVE was to figure out how to get my IBIS to a Stargate that supposedly connected systems together. I knew nothing about EVE the first time I undocked in the game and blundered my way through that first day. Right-clicking. Menus. Gotcha. The game changed a lot once I understood the essential principle. Not much more has changed in the intervening 15 years. The knowledge that has compiled and accumulated, but setting goals for myself inside the game remains an important part of staying motivated. Find a corporation, an alliance, move to null, learn PvP, start a war or two, find a better corporation, a better alliance, learn how to FC, skill up, invade, gather intel, learn more skills, move into LoSec, become a pirate. The list of goals I've set for myself over the years is a long one. I once decided that I wanted to become so good at the quote-unquote meta game that I would fundamentally change the entire game without anyone knowing what I had done. I out-meted the supposed masters of meta, and still, to this day, very few people know. Very few people know. I once set the impossible goal of building the greatest pirate corporation in all of New Eden, and was told I was crazy. It'll never work. Or how about building a bridge between the creative community and CCP so that the artists could legally license EVE IP and sell art? That was a good goal. Took a decade, but there is yet another one we can check off the list. There's an asterisk there that we'll get to later. Goals, small ones and large ones, are what motivate us all. I think it is important to have them. My goals these days are significantly more focused inside of EVE. I am at a point where larger, more meta-oriented goals don't interest me like they used to. These days, I am much more focused on my craft, and have been for the past few years. I have micro goals that I like to set for myself, like flying a ship I haven't flown for a long time into combat and trying to make it work. Just yesterday, I discovered an old Sunesis I had lying around the shop and decided to take it out for a spin. It had probably been sitting there for unused for maybe 3 or 4 years now. The fit was pretty terrible, but I did manage to snag an endurance with it, with the help of Phoenix and his slicer. Those are the micro goals. I find them to be extremely useful to help keep EVE interesting and keep me engaged. It is far too easy to fall into boring, repetitive traps of our own making and then complain that we are bored. Man, whether it's mining or ratting, it's like these aren't bad activities, but when we hyper-focus them and do nothing else, and then, heaven forbid, that anything about the activity change after years and years and years, and then we're just super angry about it and have a negative perception of it. And that's a whole other article and tangent, I'm sure, but a great point to raise that it's traps of your own making. You don't have to do 15 different things in EVE. It's good to have 2 or 3 different activities, though, that you would genuinely enjoy doing so that you can cycle through them and keep a healthier interaction with the game. For larger goals, I try to set stupid milestones that truly don't mean much, but help set future marks to achieve. For example, I noticed a few months back that I was almost to the point where I would soon have 9,000 more kills than losses in the game. So getting there became a larger goal of mine. Yesterday, I finally managed to hit and exceed that milestone, so now the goal is to get that gap to 10,000 plus marks, which, based on current activity levels, should take about 6 to 7 months to achieve, depending on my loss rate. Last year, I decided one of my larger goals would be to establish regular weekly roams that I would FC each Saturday. And those weekly roams have become something I look forward to holding each week. Participation is really good for those, and so hopefully that means that everyone else is having fun as well. We laugh, we have a blast, and I enjoy running them. That sounds a lot like Meme Fleet that I've talked about here before, and if maybe this article can be edited, or if I can get in, I'll ping Rick's for some info. If I can get a landing page for this, I don't know if it's public or not. It might just be within his own corp alliance. And if so, that's completely understandable. But if it is public, let me know, and I'll put up a landing page command for it so people know that it exists and how to join it. Whatever it is that you do inside of EVE, having small, micro, large, or aspirational goals is critical to long-term enjoyment of the game. In my opinion, and in my own experience, it is vital. Whatever it is you would like to achieve, set your goal firmly in your mind and set about making it happen. It could be stupid. It could be personal. It can be whatever you want it to be. You don't even need to share it with anyone. Now to give this new Metamorphosis ship a try. My friend Darkon is leading the game right now with 77 kills and 0 losses in one. That's damn impressive. So what are your goals? That asterisk from earlier, part of this post may or may not be true. So you guys can go through here and see which ones you think Rix has actually pulled off and which ones you don't think he has. I guess large goals, right? If I had to talk about that from my own perspective, both past and upcoming. In the past, I remember streaming EVE Online the same way I do now, as a live Q&A help desk type format, focused on getting new players or returning players or people switching from one activity to another, kind of settled in. You know, answer 2 or 3 questions for them, point them to some resources, and really help them get moving forward in whatever they're trying to achieve. And there were naysayers back then, like, oh no, you know, this will never work, and EVE is such a boring game to stream, and just reasons and excuses of why they couldn't do it, therefore you couldn't do it, or in this case, I couldn't do it. And here it is 10 years later, still streaming EVE Online, still helping nerds get settled into the game, and am extremely fortunate that it has grown to the stage that I can support myself and put a roof over, you know, my head, my family's head, and things like that. And 10 years ago, you never would have convinced anyone that was possible. And it's just starting. And another one of those big goals that I've had over the years, and I can't say this one is me achieving it, but the fact that it's being done, which is seeing CCP, to some level and degree, interacting with Twitch as a platform to advertise their product. Which ironically, just yesterday, Twitch announced their changing policy on sponsorships and advertising on streams and things of that nature. So we'll see how it all shakes out. But Twitch drops, which is what Twitch is really after. Not specifically, but just the idea of wrangling all advertising through them and not through individual channels. Twitch drops are due out with the, or around the Viridian expansion this month. And man, we'll see how they're executed. My hopes are high, and I hope we don't see another situation like we did with the Prime Gaming promotion, where it just wasn't managed or executed well, and it soured CCP toward Twitch for a second time. The first time being Twitch integration. For those of you that may not remember, years ago there was a time when Twitch Player was integrated into the EVE Online client, but somebody somehow approved that it'd be fine to have, like, I think it was like 480p resolution maybe. So it was fine for like internal training, but it was horrible for external content sharing. But that goal of seeing this interaction between Twitch and CCP is something I've wanted to see for a lot of years, because I believe that, firmly believe that the directory for EVE Online on Twitch getting boosted upward in visibility can only have significant positive impact on user acquisition for the product itself. And so I'm definitely very excited to see how that plays out. And going towards the future, Viridian, so far, what little we know about that expansion, or what little there is that's been shared about it, does seem to have like a corporation quality of life element to it, or a corporation management quality of life improvement to it. And I started streaming EVE Online running a corporation, and it was miserable. Less because of the game and the mechanics and the buttons, and more from me quickly realizing and recognizing that unless I were logged in and doing stuff, other people would not be logged in and doing stuff. And here it is 10 years later, and it's more difficult to get people logged in and doing stuff cooperatively at my time zone than it was back then. And now I actually have interest in running a corporation, not from I guess a player corp perspective, but like a new bro corporate perspective, mostly for using in-game infrastructure to help facilitate distribution of goods and materials to people. That's my big upcoming goal, I guess, is the point that's related to this topic here. I want to start a new bro corp. I want to build infrastructure to jam new players or returning players and new accounts into entry-level abyssals, entry-level exploration, entry-level PvP, hopefully into faction warfare as well, industry, trading, wherever they want to get into. I want to have a way to get them into the step one of that career path that they want to explore. So we'll see how Viridian launches and when. We still don't know when. We're already, how many days in? 7 days into the month. We have no idea when it's going to drop this month. But it's got to be in the next 3 weeks, right? So we'll wait and see. And we'll see if corporation running is for me. That's the upcoming goal and project. Rix, as always, thank you for these articles. I very much enjoy reading them and seeing perspectives of other people about certain topics. This topic, very, very critical to me, as over the years, I cannot express how many times I've had to explain to new players the concept of setting goals for yourself, avoiding stagnation, burnout, and that when it happens, it's your fault. There's a lot of things that CCP screws up and breaks and ruins, but this ain't one of them. They've provided a large, varied, and wide selection of activities in the game, and the burden, and this is the part that throws off a lot of new people coming in, the burden is on you, the player, to maintain your own rotation of activities and motivations in setting goals. Because one of the most trap goals that I see set by people is earning ISK. You know, hey Rush, what's the best way to make ISK? No. Find out what you enjoy doing in the game first, then tell me what that is, and then I'll be more than happy to show you how to make it as lucrative as possible. The ISK part in the game is easy if you're interested, but I can't make you interested. You have to find for yourself something you enjoy doing, set goals for yourself, let the ISK production or the ISK creation be a byproduct of you doing something you enjoy. Don't let it be your primary goal. It is the fastest path to burnouts and disengagement. So keep that in mind as well. We'll see you all in the next video.